Facebook and on Twitter at those addresses there. For now, we'll go on to our studio interview where the question is who's going to take over. So Zainudin Nordin, President of the Football Association of Singapore, is here. So Zainudin, thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
We heard from our Facebook fans earlier. One of them asked what the FAS's long-term strategy is in terms of continuity.
We have a strategic plan that we have put in place. We want to groom our own local talent, of course, and it takes time. That is our strategy. And at the same time, we also believe that the more we bring up our local talent, our local coaches, bring up the capability and capacity, in long run, it will be good for Singapore football.
Okay, so Sundram's departure comes as no surprise. You guys were prepared for this as early as August. How does the association view him leaving?
Actually, Sundram has been a wonderful coach. We admire his tenacity, the work that he has done, the success he has brought for us, and the way he groomed our young players. But nevertheless, it is his decision. We have given him the best possible contract that we could under our constraint. But he wanted a new challenge, and we respect that, and we respect him for his belief, and we wish him all the best for the future. And we want to ensure that there will be continuity after Sundram, and we are preparing for that.
Okay, so you tried to convince him to stay. Apart from the better offer in terms of money, he also wanted a new challenge. Were there any other reasons?
I think at the end of the day, working environment that we have in FAS is a very strong bond and camaraderie, and Sundram knows that. Of course, there will always be constraint challenges that we face in everyday work. Players not available, injuries, and sometimes the difficulties that we may have. But nevertheless, we continue to persevere. That's what we always have in Coach Sundram, a person who believes and who will always like to work with our young players, and we respect him for that. And I think moving forward, we will find a replacement for him through our recruitment exercise that we believe will do as soon as possible.
Okay, let's talk about the young players you mentioned. What's the morale of the national under-23 team? He's leaving in November, but the SEA Games is coming up in December.
I think our young boys are up to the challenge. They know that it's part and parcel. Sometimes we may have changes that takes place, and we believe that with the kind of preparation that we have done for them for the past few years, even up to now, and moving forward, if we find a new coach as soon as possible, we'll continue to bring them forward. And I believe the morale and the feelings that the boys have, the respect that they have for Sundram, is the best wishes that we can give for him. And I think we need to move on from here.
Okay, can we confirm that ID Iskandar will take over in the interim?
Yes, at the moment we have announced that. It's not an interim position. We have announced that ID, working closely with our national coach, Bernstein, as an advisor. I think we believe we have a good team in place for the SEA Games squad with ID and Mr. Bern as the advisor.
And what about Fandi Ahmad? People want to know if he's the right person to fill his shoes.
Of course, when people talk about Fandi, Sundram, ID, Nazri, Terry Pakmana, all our heroes, people talk with happiness and joy because of the memories they brought for us. But we need to also be sure that when we appoint a coach, it must be somebody who fits the role, ensure that he can do the job well. And we want to do this in a proper due process. And we'll be announcing the advertisement for the search of a LionsXII coach at the end of this week.
All right, thank you very much for coming in today. It was great speaking to you. And that was Zainudin Nordin on what's next for the LionsXII and the under-23 team now that Sundram has confirmed that he's leaving.